These false preachers teach that God doesn't make you sick, that's just the devil. The Bible says otherwise. Hi guys, I know my lighting is way off. I don't know what that is. I think it's the actual computer. Whoops. That thing is hot too. Sorry about that. I'm new going live here uh on YouTube. You know, let me pull my hair down. I look like a dude or something. I look horrible. I didn't check because I got a reason for coming on. You know, I really can't do live on TikTok uh, without my phone. So let's see. That's better. Just for a minute. That's all. But anyhow, I'm Robin, and this is my Alkaline Vegan Journey. And what we're on is a quest. And the quest is all about all things positive. And we believe because we've purged our bodies, many of the family members of my Alkaline Vegan Journey have purged their bodies of all toxins. We've done the intra and intercellular detoxification with fasting, 21 days or more. Me, myself, I've done it, several since 2020. But the biggest thing is how it has caused me to uncover things I didn't know about myself. And I don't know, the way I'm thinking is different. I tell people all the time, the only reason why I did this, and I look right at the clock at 1:11. Anyhow, I did this whole fasting thing back in 2020 at the height of the pandemic out of fear. Really, I was fearful of that shot, and I didn't want it, and I had vowed not to take it. Anyhow, fasting to me was the only way to do something without doing that. I believe that we all needed to do something just to protect us from whatever they had planned. And you don't always need to know, just get you together. And that's how we've been rolling with this. Start at home, start with yourself. Make sure your body is right. You might get forced to go off grid, but you got to run to town or try to find some way to get to your pharmacist so that you can fulfill a prescription. How you doing that? So it's like think commonsensically, wake all the way up and see the whole picture and how you fit in it and how you want to fit in it. And a lot of things after you do that fast just fall into place. I'm telling you, I'm a living example of it. Back in 2020, I did that first fast of 21 days. And of course, I lost a lot of weight. That whole lifetime prescription for uh, high blood pressure dissipated. The really horrible cracks in my I broke my ankle and chipped my knee. I used to always have kidney stones or whatever them things were. I put me in the hospital a couple times where they had to do that surgery to get rid of those stones. When I did that fast, all of that stuff, and has for the past 4 years dissipated. I don't have none of that. I have a doctor who basically questions me as to how I did it because she knows she prescribed me a lifetime of prescription of amlodipine or Lipisil, or might have been both. I don't know. I stopped taking it years before I even fasted because when she said lifetime, I was like, oh no, you ain't gonna fill me up with nothing that's gonna keep me dependent. So I stopped it immediately, you know. But the fasting, I don't care what you all say, what you all do, what your proffer is, nothing on God's green earth beats you just straight up not eating for a period of time. Now, some people are saying 7 days that you can kind of reset a system. And I might say, okay, with somebody who is relatively healthy. And I'm talking about, you don't have a lot of meat that has all of this corrosiveness in your body that is, still there. People that have dairy and things in their system generally, have blockages. So you probably, if you don't already, maybe building up that excess mucus to get that shit out the way. But in the meantime, building disease. That excess mucus becomes inflammation, and that's that thicker stuff. And it's harder to break that down So you have to fast longer. But fasting will get all of that stuff out of the way. Autoimmune diseases and stuff, thing of the past. I mean, diabetes, high blood pressure. Y'all just go check out Dr. Alan Goldhammer. He's a doctor that has been practicing for a minute because I know at least in the 1980s, he was arrested for prescribing fasting to his patients. So he's been in the game for a minute. Now he's out in California with this facility called True North. And he substantiates all that I'm telling you all in my research when I'm trying to find out what the hell is going on with me. Why is it I'm remembering things? Why is it so many things seem like what I would call common sense so foreign? When y'all told me that, yeah, I need to post my, because I'm still, living the journey of doing 12 different long term fasts. Yeah, 10 of them were 21 days, and two of them were for 40 days. The first 40-day one, I'm telling y'all, that changed my life. It was actually 46 days that I did. Not realizing the first 3 days of that fast, I was dry, hard dry. Because that's when I found out uh, some people in the house that I was sharing had full blown COVID, and I didn't have the shot. Um, so I went into hibernation for real. I stayed in that room. I went out to use the bathroom. That was it. I didn't wash. I didn't wash my hands. And I'm sorry to say, yeah, but I was on that tip where I learned a little bit about just completely denying the body of any nutrients. And I later learned this. I didn't realize that at the time. My thing was I don't want to touch or be around nothing that they touch because I don't know who has it, who can give it to me. And I was like, yeah. So those first 3 days, I didn't. And then I started, going out of the house, and I went and got water. I think at that time I was doing Deer Park and Crystal Geyser. I don't think Mountain Valley was in the play yet, but after doing that 40-day fast or 46-day fast, 46 days it was, because the first 3 days dry were equivalent to 3 days of water draft fasting each. So that's 9 days. Plus, I went on to do 37 more days. So, yeah, 46. And I'm telling you, you could tell that something was going off. Dr. Goldhammer even says in one of his studies, he was saying that 45 days is like the max you should go before you start having a electrolytic imbalance. And I could feel it. I was in that Walmart. I talk about this all the time because I was in that Walmart and I was like, it's time to sit. And I mean, right now. And they have not one place where you could sit. I cleared the shelf and I sat. I felt it. And then a few minutes later, I was able to get up. But it was going through that all the time. I wasn't tired. I wasn't feeling weak or, lethargic or any of that. It just came over me like that. Time to sit. It was so wild. So I knew that was the electrolytic. I only later found out about all of this because I ain't know nothing about that. And I think right after that fast, I wound up going to Bimini. I finished that fast like February something, maybe 10th, and was on that plane February 12th. Y'all, the way I packed for that one, because I was like, shoot, I know how to break my fast. I know I got to do all Dr. Sabi stuff. 40 days? Yeah, you ain't messing that up. And I did it exactly right. I shared the stuff with, some of my friends because I know I love Bimini. And it would have been, it seems like I would have moved there, not here to St. Lucia, but I'm telling you, there was a calling or something for me here in St. Lucia. And I know it because I'm really, truly not that person that left DC. I am more tolerant. I am more calm. I am happy, happy. I mean, a happy like I've never really felt before. And I don't think it's just the island. I think it's the cleansing of my system that has, and I chose the right place to be. And that's what you got to do. Put it all together. Because St. Lucia is like that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I love it here. But I'm going to tell you, if you haven't ever experienced that, and I call it the God space, because I got a glimpse of what that could be in fasting. So I'm really trying to elevate it to those levels where I'm really in that God, because that is a really wonderful feeling to just really be happy and really have joy. I don't even know how to explain it because for me, it's really kind of, oh, yeah, I can't get the light right at all. Not just the pewter, but the lighting. Anyhow, let me do it like this. It might work better. But anyhow, to be able to, have clarity enough to first off make the move and then to the right location where you vibe. And I'm gonna tell you, all things have not been cheery. All things, but the way I handle things is so different, and the outcome is so much better. And I'm telling you, I'm vibing off of this because of the outcome. And just like I was telling Reggie, you got to vibe on those levels that take you there. Always have you in a positive mood, thinking of positive things, feeling happy, and you can do that. You can dictate that within your mind simply by making it so. And like I say, the way I do it is I'm always thinking positive things, even if it's something like this damn website that's got me stuck on stupid because I'm yet in another environment because of the open source uh, code that I'm using. But it's worth it. I'm telling you, when y'all get on and be able to do the live broadcast right from my website, yeah, you understand. Be able to go right to my site, myalkalineveganjourney.com, and I can say it and say it proudly because it's always mine, and I can show you how to do it. I'm telling you, I love that this is set up, even though, yeah, you still have to use a lot of third party things, but you get the autonomy of how to use it and when to remove it. You know what I'm saying? I love coding for myself, especially something as important as a website. You're only linked to many people that are truly in your camp for real, and we have many of them. Not all 90,000, but we have about 90,000 on TikTok. And I got to go over and really check. I think we have about close to 700 here on YouTube, but we haven't been here. But we're going to start being here. And I like doing lives because I don't like editing anything. That's the authenticity in me as well. I don't care if I'm saying or something happens, it just get caught. I don't care. You know, it's like I was saying earlier, we often walk around with no clothes on because it's hot as hell here. Ain't nobody looking at nobody and thinking about nothing. It's just because the heat is like that. And as soon as I said that, they come walking through with his underpants on. It's like, okay, yeah, just bring the point on. Anyhow, it's so cool. It's so chill. I mean, you can really feel a vibe of freedom, here. Even though you have to abide by rules and abide by laws, they ain't drumming that stuff where they in your face, especially if you're a responsible adult. You're not somebody out there causing any kind of crap. You know when and where and how much of all things to do. And that's the circle I'm hanging with. Ain't nobody dealing with them. We know what to do and when to do not and all of that. So, and I love that. I love that the people that, I'm truly, hanging around with now are those ain't no, I mean, you don't have any reason that any authority needs to be in your face at all, you know. Um, and with that being said, you have a different kind of freedom here, especially on this island. I don't know why, because y'all know I've been to all of them: Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Barbados. I haven't been to Trinidad though. I wonder what's up like that. Trinidad and Tobago. And I know people there. I mean, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Uh, haven't been to St. Vincent or Martinique. Yeah, what am I waiting on? I've been here in St. Lucia building a business. I mean, straight up, one that will help all of us. If y'all just listen to me. Start all this stuff, all of it with fasting. Watch how it hits different. Y'all all talking the right language, but not emphasizing the proper order. The very first thing you should do is check yourself. I mean, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of it. Check yourself, and you do that first by fasting, because that fasting gonna reveal all of it. You got people come here like, what, for this ayahuasca? Y'all look it up, because I ain't about to get banned and quarantined and all that shit. But look it up, ayahuasca. And you can get that naturally too. Y'all, I told y'all. We have been given dominion and control over all things as humans, is how I see it. And if that's the case, think about that deeply. There's nothing that I have dominion over that I have to be dependent on. Y'all, and I mean all these herbs. I'm talking about all these supplements. There is nothing that I should be in dominion and control over, that I should be dependent on. Hear what I'm saying? So, with that being said, what's the healer? If you can't do burdock root and ashwagandha and nature's person, what's the healer? What is the actual healing? Your body. And that's all I'm saying. Start at the beginning. Intra, that's within the cells. Enter, that's around the cells. Detoxify your body. The thorough way of doing it, the most expedient way of doing it, the free way of doing it is with a fast. And that's why we promote all water fasting. And I'm telling you, y'all should see some of the folks who are on their journey right now and how you can see the difference. I caught them on before they even did the fast, and now they doing the fast or have done the fast. And y'all, even their comments are different. The all water fast, the reset fast that we're referring to with My Alkaline Vegan Journey and our family. Like I said, we over here on YouTube. I'm loving it. But our family started on TikTok. We got about 90,000 family members on TikTok. And I love that. That means that people were at least listening to me at one point. And I've always been talking fasting, because that's how I started my journey. Like, big dummy, how you in there not eating? You the biggest foodie ever. How you gonna fake the funk? And I didn't. I'm telling you, each one of my fasts from beginning to end, that was one thing that I promised myself, and I demanded of myself, that a fast, when you're dealing with, the universe and all the creation and stuff, man, if you're not going to do it, just don't start it. Because once you in it, you in it. And be about it like that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, I know a lot of people have started fast. I've started fast and had to, shut it down. I think I did it twice. Because, I get addicted to fasting. And you really can't really give yourself an electrolytic imbalance. That means your electrolytes are not at the level they should be. Now, it could be simple as taking some potassium or something like that so that your body can catch up. But for the most part, don't let it get that way, especially once you fast. Just let your regular diet pick up. Yeah, I'm about to lose power. There it is. There it is. Um, your body is the first line of defense. Let it do what it does, and then you start refeeding. And in your refeeding diet, if you're refeeding properly, every mineral and nutrient you should consume, you should be consuming. And you can eat like that. Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide is straight arrow pointing to it. It's posted on my TikTok page so that you can screenshot and all that. It's one of Dr. Sabi's original uh, food guides, the nutritional guide. And I'm telling you, I don't care if you eating meat. I don't care if you eating dairy. You're not a vegetarian. You're not a vegan. You're not an alkaline vegan. You ain't none of that. You should be eating the stuff that's on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide. It's the good, you know? Instead of doing wheat flour, do some spelt flour or some, what's Teft is good. Chickpea flour is good. A lot of people do spelt. Um, and I have to, full disclosure, Spelt flour is a great flour, and it's on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide. But I take it with really high limits because I don't want nothing GMO. And that's straight one that's genetically modified where they've removed the gluten. Okay. If I have to, just like I do wheat sometimes because I'm here in St. Lucia, and sometimes you get what you can get. It's not like being able to go to the freaking Safeway and shit and be able to get what you want and stuff. Everything is primarily imported here. They have sugar shortages and shortages on stuff because it's an island. I don't know why this is playing with me. Y'all, come on, in charge. It's got to have that right positioning for it to charge. But I just want to appeal that to you, as authentically as I can. All of this other stuff, I mean, y'all should be awoke at least now to know that the pharmaceuticals, you probably could do something different that might be more amenable to you and your health. If you kind of look for alternatives to some of these pharmaceuticals that they're prescribing you. Secondly, when you do your fasting, do your research. Make sure you're looking up these doctors who are doing case studies on what you're doing right now, fasting. And check out, like, Walter Longo. He's really big on intermittent fasting. And I see him written up in a lot of case studies when I do scholarly peer reviewed research. And I do a lot of that because I want to know what's up. I don't want to hear your ads. I don't want you trying to sell me nothing. I just want the facts. And often when I do that, I have to use the dictionary, especially if I'm really deep into a subject matter. I have to, uh, have my dictionary right next to me because yeah, it's a lot of vocabulary that I would never come by on the daily. Some of it I can extrapolate because I can kind of get the root word. And plus, I took Latin. I took Latin simply to take the SAT. Simple as that. That's all said and done. But I remembered a lot of it, and it does apply, especially to the English language. Anyhow, I went and did a lot of research. I did it, because I needed to know. I was not one of these people that did this fasting crap. As a matter of fact, that one I did in February of 2020 is my first ever in life. Why? I still don't understand why I was put on that track. I don't know where that came from. Just to stop eating. It wasn't even really in my forebrain. I had done some research because I knew that I didn't want to do the shot for COVID, but they were like hard pressed. You can't go here. And I was considering it. Can't go here, can't travel. That was like a real big one because I was stuck in the US from Australia, trying to get back to Australia and could not get back. So I was traveling. Yeah, I went to Bimini. I went to uh, Isla Mujeres, St. Lucia. I was all over the place until I landed here in St. Lucia. But y'all, I'm going to tell you, do your research because the research is what's going to resonate for you, for even having to repeat anything. I'm looking back at some of my old videos and y'all, I'm so glad I documented that stuff. You look at how we have grown just in having, new knowledge. And it's the same speech about fasting, but now we're doing distilled water instead of spring water. And there's a reason behind that because of some of the scholarly peer reviewed research that we've been able to do as a family. And we share all of it. We've got family members that are really putting us on point with some of the numerology and astrology and all of that. Y'all, I'm one of those. Don't bring that hocus pocus stuff to me because my background is science. And I don't know what it is about having to have some shred of scientific proof to validate. I don't know where that comes from, but it might be inbred, because a lot of those behaviors and things, like not even questioning one religion, because if you question it, it's a shadow of doubt. And that means that, you blaspheming. I don't know what they call it, but you're not even supposed to question them. Oh, and I'm growing up to this. I was not always grown up, even though I'm grown up. Uh, but anyhow, you know what I'm saying? And it's so funny to be able to realize in real time the things you straight up never even knew that you didn't know. Rest on that one. You hear what I'm saying? Rest on that one. To be able to, in real time, realize things that you didn't even know you didn't know. Figure it out. Y'all who know. And I'm on that page because it's like, wow. And as you start putting together your life experiences and you start putting together and with clarity, thanks to the fasting, and then you start realizing where you are presently and how that is like, wow, look at where you are. You know, especially if you're in that place. I don't care where you are on this earth, but if you're in that place spiritually and with that consciousness, I think that's the conscious Christ that you're talking about. And you are like saying, well done, keep up the good work. And everything is like positive, and you're dwelling perpetually on this positive thing. Ooh, y'all, that thing is life altering. That thing is life altering, but you got to practice it because you're going through some things with, relationship, a job, or money, or something. You're going through something. But once you put your mind in that space that this is all things positive, I don't care what. I play the positive word game. My Uncle I'm Vegan Journey has this game called the positive word game, where I don't care what. Everything out your mouth is positive. Y'all don't understand how that makes you think and deep when you're seriously playing the game and you want to cuss somebody out. The translation that goes on, the way your body, your brain, and all parts of your body start thinking to translate this, because you're gonna say it. You're gonna say it right too. I look at comments, and there was this one time where I couldn't hold it. It was like, shoot, I just had to stop the live. Because when we do our lives on TikTok, sometime in the morning, it is all positive. I'm talking about all positive. And you feel the vibe. And that vibe, we started off by just smiling. Now, we thought that was going to be something for other people so we could lift their spirits and try to bring them that positive energy. But we found out it was for us. Just a smile. Just a smile. That's such a positive outward visual, even if you're faking it. I'm telling you. And then you start faking it so much, you start feeling good. And you just go with it. And there you are, looking and feeling all positive. But you manipulated that. And why not manipulate that? We're so busy trying to manipulate everything other than positive. Why not just dwell solely on it? I call it perpetual positivity. That's how you manipulate all things and get to that point. Gratitude has a lot to do with that, because you can't play the game if you're not grateful for everything, good, bad, or indifferent. You understand what I'm saying? Because they have all culminated to make you who you will be if you haven't gotten there, but to who I am, straight up. It's a freaking wonderful feeling. They call it the law of attraction, called authenticity. I feel it. I'm telling you, I feel it. And once you feel it, it's amazing, because you run with that and just stay on that frequency. I'm telling you, whoa, you're going to meet a lot of people who are on that frequency. And once y'all meet, guess what? Whoa! I mean, it just hits sky. I'm telling you. And learning about, just frequency and vibration, the wavelengths, the resonance, the oscillation, all that other stuff. Yeah. And then applying that to the recent knowledge that I'm getting about us being electrical beings, and they've got each cell is comprised of about 70 I forgot the unit, but it's a unit of electrical energy. Each cell. I guess that's still the scientist in me, or the whatever, needing that scientific validation. But that was it. That was it. Scientific validation. Each cell is comprised of a certain amount of electrical energy that they have documented. But do you understand what that means? Y'all, let's get into the science of it. It is just straight, always been there in your face. When they come telling me that this smallest unit of matter that we've always known to be the atom, not to be of matter at all, wavelength, because of vibrations at certain frequencies. Y'all know what I mean? I'm telling you. And because we're getting all of this confirmation and validation with some of the stuff that we always knew, and now we can directly apply it to us in human form, y'all get on this train. Start at the beginning. Get your body right. Get your house in order. For real, for real. Get rid of all of that lupus and psoriasis and eczema and allergies and high blood pressure and diabetes. Do the freaking fast. The reset fast. Do the reset fast. You only need to do one in a lifetime. If you just follow what I tell you, and that is to refeed properly. And even if you step off here and there are maintenance fasts that you can do to put you back on track. But you got to do that one reset fast. Get started. Get started now, because it's more than just weight and health. That health and weight being in proper order will automatically elevate you to a higher frequency. Because check this out. Death has a frequency of 0. Y'all know what I mean? Has no vibration. So the higher you get away from death, that's minus all diseases, the higher you vibrate, because your frequency is instantly heightened with good health. Y'all get what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, once your health is right, and I'm saying that's the core beginning to do the reset fast, so you can purge intracellularly everything inside the cell, intercellularly everything around the cell, clean it, because that's the basis of your life, that one cell. It doesn't get enough nutrients. Guess what? It's shutting down. It's malfunctioning. Them next 7 days of regeneration is producing a malfunctioning cell. So you got to get all the 91 nutrients needed. And I can't break them down, but I know there are amino acids, fatty acids, the amino acids for the protein. That one amino acid and protein that malfunctions is responsible for a lot of your autoimmune diseases. I think it's called Adam T1. Gary Brecker talked about it. But I'm going to tell you, lupus, psoriasis, arthritis, all of that stuff, autoimmune. Y'all realize it can instantly be reversed with fasting? No more medication. And that's the same with diabetes. Y'all, just think about it. If the insulin is the problem, shut that mug down. You got an alternate energy source. Yeah, you're going to have that hypoglycemic spike, but you're going to have that at any point. The sugar levels change, but just ride it. Talk to your doctor. I mean, hopefully they holistic and they can point you in the right. That's the easiest one. That and high blood pressure too. Because I did my whole high blood pressure 21-day reset fast without taking any of that medicine. I had long since not taken the medicine. And now 4 years later, ain't no more sign of no high blood pressure. And she just gave me that doggone lifetime prescription for the amlodipine. You turned off all the light and I'm still live. Can you turn that one back on? He's so funny. I got it. Thanks. I'll be there in a minute. Okay. He get mad at the phone. Because if he's scrolling, he get just frustrated, I guess. Anyhow, he enjoys it. I say take time after work and relax. And that's what you do. You scroll. But anyhow, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, my journey has been like that. I don't know. I didn't know what the heck was happening to me. Cause it's like, okay, I stopped eating for 21 days. I had never done it before, but I'm gonna tell you, I felt good. I really did. I felt like I could. I felt that's what it was. All that fat that I was like disclaiming. I took pictures. I had come here to St. Lucia prior to actually starting the fasting and stuff, and it was probably November 2019. I can't remember, but anyhow, I came here and I was on the beach, and I had this two-piece outfit, brown, on. Oh, my shit hanging out. But I guess always in my mind, it's like I ain't thinking about nobody. I'm loving me. That's all that could be. But anyhow, I took photos of all of that and was reminded of that. Man, I haven't posted them yet because I still have to get through that. I couldn't believe that was me. Yuck. I couldn't believe that I would wear a swimsuit like that, knowing I look like that. That's the yuck part. Because I don't care about that, but you don't want to flaunt that all flubby dubby stuff. You know, you got to do it with class and style. Anyhow, after doing that fast and losing all that weight and not having any sign of high blood pressure, none of that stuff hurt. I don't know what that was. And I was clueless because I'm telling you, I had never felt like that. Not even at Howard or GW, not even in high school. I don't know what that was. And I hadn't done any of the real research, like the mental and physical, I mean, the mental and the spiritual aspect of doing these long term fasts. I just want the physical because I wanted that immune system locked tight. Like anything you bring in, I'm going to fight it. And I'm going to be built to do just that with this new immune system. And I'm like, and I think that's what propelled me too. 21 days, I ain't the one. I'm a foodie at heart. Man, people say it. I'm a foodie. They don't understand. I'm in every country eating all that crazy stuff. I love that. I really, at some point, want to do a traveling food show and, pick out really some of the nicer foods that can be good for you. Like, you don't always have to do meat. You got mushrooms all over this planet, and most of which can mimic any meat better than the meat. I'm telling you, I looked for pork because I love the pork, and I found it. It's an oyster mushroom. It's just like pork. I got a video on my TikTok page. Check it out. You got one that's like beef. You got one that's like the dark chicken and the white meat chicken. I'm telling you, mushrooms. Man, this journey has been amazing. It really has. I really have to think about it, and I am so grateful to COVID because only because of that bullshit am I where I am right now. I'm serious. That 21-day fast, and that was just the first one. I did 4 21-day fasts just in 2020 because I had to check this shit out. I could not believe how easy it was for me to first off do it, and then to feel like I did even after doing my experiments with two of them. I had to check out the meat. Yeah, I went back to the pork and all of that. But I was still doing all the stuff that was on Dr. Sadie's nutritional guide. All that stuff was like my ground. All of that stuff was, I ain't deviating from that. And I stuck strict to all of that while doing the pork, the beef, the chicken, the fish. I did one fast. I did uh, sugar. The sugar. Y'all, let me tell you about my experience with the sugar. Y'all, tread if you want to. You can't tell me that stuff ain't like one of them addicting drugs. I'll tell you, that had to be the worst doggone fast I ever had. I did all them peanut M&Ms. I'm telling you, I had the bag with the handle every day, a new one. I just because that was my favorite candy, one of them. But I was dogging them. And when it came time to fast, and I had to do this fast myself because it's like, ain't no way I'm doing all that work and feeling the way I did. And I felt it instantly. I don't know how much weight, but I know I put on some weight, which was crazy with the meat and stuff. I almost didn't gain any weight, but I knew I felt not like I did when I was like, whoa, man, oh God. After doing the fast and going straight into Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide, that first fast and thereafter, y'all, whoo, I want all of you to experience it because that is a high like you ain't never. And I haven't had all that, but I'm talking about fasting for 21 days and going straight into refeeding with the stuff that's on Dr. Sabi's nutritional guide exclusively. And I did that, and I'm telling you, that was great. And I did another fast after that. That one I did in May. I ain't even feel that one. It was like another couple days. It did, man. And when Fee come talking about, because we did a couple of them together as a group, but no, I don't think back then. But Fee, when we did one together, she actually was like, "Yeah, next week the fast will be over," and we had just started. And it was so because the way the calendar and the way the days lined up, sure enough, next week we'd be finished. What's interesting is that's how I felt with that fast that I did in May because I had just done one in February. It's the first one I'd ever done, and I'm back with this new group doing a fast because they doing a fast. Y'all, I wished it was like, and they did it with juice. I just did it with water, and then I'm like, y'all, this is feeling too surreal. I gotta clamp it down and get that scientific stuff going, and let's do some experimentation. I'm telling you, just in my mind, like purposely wrecking my body, knowing all the work I did. And it really wouldn't work. That's why I guess I gave it up so easy. I went testing everything. But I'm so glad I did because y'all realize after doing those 4 fasts in 2020, I went on to do a 40-day fast in 21. And that was spawned because I was stuck in DC. I had just gotten to DC from Australia. We were supposed to leave going back to Australia April 23rd. Well, everything got shut down in Australia for us to return March 16th, my birthday, the ending of my very first fast ever in life. My birthday, March 16th of 2020. So we set up camp and start, because everything was gone. When we moved to Australia, that me and CJ, everything was gone in DC. We were gone. So we had to, reestablish ourselves completely. We were living with family and stuff. And so I took on sharing this house. And CJ decided to stay with his father. And that was cool. That was good. I shared a house with some folks, and it was, anyhow, but one of the guys came home with COVID and uh, always looked pathetic, but really more so. And I don't know if it was full blown or what, but anyhow, he started shutting the bathroom down. It was just a horrible situation. And at the height of that situation, I decided I was going to protect myself yet again because I knew I'd messed up all 2020, all that fasting I did. Yeah, I still needed to cleanse my system. I wanted it back the way it was when I did that first one in February. I want because man, that was a special high. That was when I expelled my last stool 3 days after not eating. That was the day. I mean, that was the fast that 7 days after not eating, I had this. What they now have explained to me was excess mucus, and it was a lot of it that came out of my system. That was the fast. And that's the one that purged most of the stuff. And if the other 3 didn't get the rest of the stuff, guess what? The one January of 2021 got it and got it good. It was 40 days with nothing but water. The first 3 days, I had no water in me or on me, nowhere at any point in those 36 hours. And that's because, COVID, and I'm not vaccinated, and everybody else is, and I ain't go to that bathroom other than to expel. I didn't do any of that. I kept this cloth with me, wiping my hands, touching stuff, and all of that. But I stayed in that room and I meditated, I fasted, I prayed, and I was like, realizing at that point, y'all, our bodies are freaking powerful. I didn't realize that each of those days were equivalent to 3 days water fasting. So by the third day, I'd already done 9 days. So yeah, my body had gone, it was already in autophagy. And to me, autophagy, now I know our bodies go through autophagy. That's just the restructuring of damaged cells, making new ones out of them, or actually making new cells. And for me, and I got to do more research on it, when we reach autophagy, which is usually when your body transitions from the one food source, glucose, to ketones, which is that preferred energy source. Your body prefers that energy source. And that's interesting because it's said and known throughout the community that your body prefers ketone. So why are we doing glucose? Anyhow, we're going to get into that too. Anyhow, when your body goes into ketosis, your body then transitions to ketones. And that don't need glucose. It don't need no food. It don't need anything because you're completely on a different energy source. And that's all your body needs is the energy, right? So when you're fiending for anything, those are those addictions coming out. Those are those things that, you might say once you want to stay far, far away from a lot of that stuff. So once I got to that first 3 days, I went on to do 37 other days, but this fast was different. This fast revealed a lot. I did most of it initially working with Amazon and working with DoorDash, delivering hot food from these restaurants to these people's homes in DC. Y'all, I'm telling you, none of that fazed me at all. During that time, I was watching mukbangs, just enjoying the cooking part of it, and really getting perturbed by just watching them eat that stuff like that. And it helped to, I guess, feed the brain, with those images of just gouging and being satisfied mentally on that. I don't want to feel, I know what you feel like after you finish that. I don't want that. And it helped me to stay on the course with fasting as well. And I'm really thinking out loud because a lot of the stuff I hadn't thought about since, but I can reflect back on how I felt and what my body was going through and all of that and really see it with a different light. Because I'm telling you, daily, y'all, daily I'm growing. Daily I'm learning something new. Daily there are new experiences that I'm able to evaluate and really kind of use for my good. Even though it's, some situations I don't want, because, a lot of us resist change. And in resisting that change, we alter the path, I believe. They'll give you free choice and all that other stuff, but you divert the ultimate goal of the end point when doing this dumb crap instead of just going with your intuition, that first mind. And that's why I'm telling you, I never used to do that. Just follow my first mind. I'm doing that all the time now. And it just all works out. And I'm realizing in it all working out, it's a reason for me always second guessing, always putting on pause, always got this apprehension. That was that fear. Fear and just trusting your first mind because it's the right mind. Fasting is the reason why I don't have that fear. And I realize there's some situations where I do have some pause now. And that's because I'm not completely where I was as far as my feeding when I'm here in St. Lucia because the majority of my diet was mushrooms. And for me, the mushrooms here, I can't do not another portobello. And it's very hard to find oyster or any other mushrooms here. So, and that's just an excuse. Y'all know it. It's very easy to be alkaline and really eat, that top grade, non-GMO, non-cross-pollinated stuff without mushrooms. But I really did, because I was a new transfer. I was a new transitioner because I was still getting used to being able to do the substitutions, you know. And some people might call me, you're not really alkaline vegan, you're plant based. Well, call it what you like. I'm calling it what I like, and I call myself alkaline vegan, you know, because some people will try to straight up tell you who you are based on your activity and stuff. They try to put you in a box, and you can't come out of that box until you follow their rules. That's why I say stay in complete control. I mean, stay in complete control. You are who you say you are. I know I am. If I say I'm alkaline vegan, guess what? That's exactly what I am. Because I don't think any of us started that way. And you know, as we deviate from whatever to whatever, we are who we say we are. Whether we got to get back there or, you know, do something different or whatever, who's the judge? You. That's why I say start with yourself. And I'm talking about, you will see that that's all you got time for. When you really start fasting, cleansing intracellularly, starting over, giving your cells all the nutrients that they need so that they're producing 100 AOK uh, 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 new cells those 7 days. I'm telling you, you will start opening up your mind to new thoughts. Because I'm telling you, I have. I'm telling you, it's kind of blowing my mind, because I do remember, um, you know, creators like Billy Carson, and there's some others. He stands out because he's the one that, you know, I really like listening to him, but he go to a certain point where I couldn't go. It just felt, I don't know, I couldn't open my mind there. And I'm so grateful to have opened that part of my mind just to be able to open my mind to that thought. And if y'all don't understand what I'm saying, there's a block on even thought, because I don't know, they don't want you, I don't want to blame them, they, whatever. We haven't reached that maturity to really have, and I call it, you know, that God within you, and you having that personal relationship with Him. Some people call it the universe. I don't know if they call it the Christ consciousness. I'm new to all of this and I'm still learning, so please be patient with me. But anyhow, what I'm learning from my own personal experience with all of it is that He's within you. And if you treat yourself just like that, you ain't gonna be putting all that bullshit in your system all the time. You hosting the creator in your vessel. So you want your vessel, your home, to be presentable at all times. It's like, you know, for some of y'all, when the president come, or when the king come, or when any somebody of importance come up in your house, you know, you want your house to be clean and setting right and smelling right, and, you know, free of any debris, and, you know, you want it to be righty tight. And I'm talking about, when I say free of any, you know, debris and smelling right and stuff like that, I'm talking about, I do believe the mind and the spirit have to be in conjunction, because I believe you bring about that feng shui. Y'all know about feng shui? And I learned this when I was, you know, actually in the police academy with GW. I was a police officer at GW. That's how many of us get our degrees and stuff. But anyhow, um, they talked about, Q is always into this stuff, but they talked about how the flow of energy moves through a system. And me being an engineer, I love when you talk about them systems, because whatever goes in definitely got to come out. And once it goes in, that feng shui, that the feng shui just to me is positive spirit, or positive entity, energy, whatever you want to call it, that comes through. It has a path to follow, and you create it by, you know, placing your furniture in certain locations in the house. So when that energy comes, it knows exactly where to go. And I believe that that's like our systems. You know, if you've got blockages and stuff, those of us who have had, because I ain't never getting that stuff back, high blood pressure, you know that our whole bodies are circular. It's a circulatory system. It's circular. So when they talk about blockages and things that are under pressure, that means that circular movement is being blocked in some kind of way. And usually it's the constraint of the muscles, because we have vessels, and I have to get this straight, vessels and veins. One takes blood to the heart, one takes it away from the heart. And when they become constrained, that's when you have high blood pressure. And what's being used now as a quick fix is the magnesium compounds. I think there are about 3 of them, and you can find them all in Celtic sea salt. So that's the give me right quick. But to completely reverse what's causing that at the core, those constraints, that's where the fasting comes in. That's what I'm talking about. The heart disease, the autoimmune diseases. When you stop eating glucose and you let your body with distilled water only survive off of its own means, you are resetting the system, because those stem cells are coming out doing mad repair. I'm telling you, they are going through, not just through autophagy, taking the recycled things from the damaged cells and putting them back to use. I'm talking about producing brand new body specific, those specific cells like heart cells and lung cells and all of that during this massive stem cell production. Right after autophagy is when your body is just now catching on to all that visceral fat. Now, the visceral fat is fat that your body stores on purpose. It's stored there for you to feed off of during times of starvation. So when your body starts feeding off that, the process, and I have to go through my diagram, but it's where the visceral fat, which is all in your adipose tissue. Adipose and all of this stuff is nothing but fats. You got brown fats, white fats, cells, and all of that. And we'll get into that. But the adipose tissue is from head to toe. And you've got visceral fat pretty much from head to toe, just tucked, all around your organs, all up in this adipose tissue. And that's some of the fat that you be trying to work out and don't never go away. Like that belly fat and stuff, it's visceral. And that stuff is not subcutaneous where you can work out and do all the stuff to get rid of it. You really do have to fast. And that's the best way. There's some other ways, but I'm telling you, fasting is the most expeditious way to get it and get it from its core. And the visceral fat is still going to collect, but you start anew when you fast, you get rid of it, because all of that visceral fat also has toxins in it. And that's why I say you got to do intra and intercellular cleansing. The intra is inside the cell. You definitely need to get that, because if it's not, if the nutrients that you're putting in, you need 91 of them, not hidden in that cell the way it should, it's going to malfunction. And that malfunctioned cell, when recycled or regenerated every 7 days, it starts producing malfunctioning cells. Because all of them, despite the nutrients, it's going to keep trailing. So you got to hit it at the cellular level. First by detoxing. That's with fasting. Then with feeding it the proper nutrition so it gets all 91. They're like 16 fatty acids, and I got these numbers wrong, 12 you got the fatty acids, the amino acids for the proteins, you got the minerals, there's something else in there, but all of them add up to about 91 that each cell needs. And I'm gonna tell you something, sea moss, and I see why sea moss is promoted, especially the medicinal grade. We harvest here in St. Lucia the medicinal grade sea moss. It's wild crafted. We're cutting it off the substrate, and it's inundated with nutrients. Like I said, medicinal grade, and that's why we prepare your gels. Now, some of you may feel, like you can do the raw, but we rather sell you the gel because all these things are medicines, and they need to be done under dosages. And if you don't get the doses right, I hear a lot of people talking about there's so much iodine or something in sea moss. That can be due to not doing the processing properly. And I've seen a lot of people do it. I'm here in St. Lucia, and I see the people who are doing the rope sea moss. And we're not doing the rope sea moss. That sea moss that's cut and growing perpetually from a rope that basically is on top of the water. It dips because of the waves and everything, but it's the rope structure is generally on top of the water. And it stinks. That stuff has a lot of the pollutants because sea moss ain't nothing but a sponge. It has a lot of pollutants. That's why you have to lime it up and really, do a lot of stuff with it because it has an odor. Our wild crafted sea moss has no odor, none. And that's part of the way we tell the difference. It has absolutely no odor because it's coming from the substrate, which is beneath the sea level, which allows it to be free of that top laying, moving, dirt or pollutants. It's in the water, constantly waving in the water. So you can tell the difference. But ours, like I said, is medicinal. And this stuff here in St. Lucia is exponentially greater than most because this is a volcanic island with a live volcano, the only one in the world that you can drive through, right here in St. Lucia. Yeah, it's like that. We have all these things available in the store, and I have to give kudos to myself because I've been working diligently for the past several months trying to put up a website. And this is not any ordinary website like the one I had with Square or the one I have with GoDaddy's. Nah, this is one I created from scratch myself. I had an idea. I used ChatGPT to get me started. I kind of reflected back on some of my um, studies because we had to take web design and all that other stuff. And straight up, in these past couple months, became a back end engineer, creating environments for certain websites to have certain functioning. Like mine is going to have the uh, live broadcast. It's also got the live chat, and we've got the interactive blog where you can actually, and I haven't really put all this stuff in. These things that I'm telling you about now are there, not functioning yet because I got to get the coding for everything that's in containers. And most of these things are in containers. So I'll get the coding really down for the live broadcast. We're going live immediately. And what's so interesting is that I had just gone through this really repellent type of situation with Square for the final time. It was like lights out, game over. We tried with the $10,000 that they had held for 12 days, didn't even process it, didn't give it to me. I didn't have access to it. They did. And 12 days later, that's all I got back was that $12,000. I mean, that $10,000. So it's like then giving my food, my stuff away, the sea moss and everything, just straight allowing the people to purchase the product and giving them their money back and not requesting my product back. So they got everything. And then the last straw truly was I pay for my domain name and I have to pay for it every year with Square because Square is the one that I registered it with. And this year I had to, pay, and I paid. And as soon as I paid, I got a note stating that the only way that I would be able to use that website and people would see it is if I created my Square account. Like, you dirty dogs. So I went, and everything has been shut down since then, for real, because I don't want you all partaking with anything them. We're not going to play those games. We're going to do things upstandingly with ethics and, morality, I want to say, and with morals. Don't do that. That is so, got you by the balls. Can't nobody see your stuff, even though you just paid for it, because we want you to upgrade your account. So what I did is I just shut it down. I shut it down pretty much. So I haven't had a website since then, and that was some time ago, which means that nobody has been able to buy anything from us. Well, that changes. For the past couple months, I've been building my own website from scratch. And I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you for you kind, beautiful souls at OpenAI, at GitHub, at VS Code, who have helped me little by little learn your platforms and be able to construct from scratch, from code myself, a website that has all the peripherals that I know I'm going to have. Even though they're not up and running, I see what I can do. Like I said, out of all of this, I'm a back end engineer. I can put your environment together so that you can pretty much host any kind of thing that you want, which is really wild for me to be able to say it. And I guess that's why there's a shift when it comes to uh, people who are in the, um, I want to say, IT field for the most part. You've got this now, these bots out all over the place who can extrapolate all of your knowledge in hours, not even hours, maybe minutes, and then take it so much further ahead because they exponentially learn. I say like this: embrace it, don't coddle it, just utilize it to your best. Always be positive. I don't care what you do. If you dealing with it, always be positive. And that's why I'm, really on pause with some of the use of this stuff because, I like to protect the algorithm as well. I don't want, um, well, I'll lay that to bed because what I'm trying to say is stay stuck on stupidly positive perpetually. I mean, really, and just keep that flow of positive energy flowing. You can manipulate it. I noticed that even when I'm being yelled at for no good reason, even though, acts of aggression against me, I stay stuck on positive. I defend myself. I'm going to do that. Um, uh, there at the farm, I realized that I'm not playing. But the whole thing is always think positive. I mean, sometimes I find myself just saying agape love, agape love, agape love, agape love, just to kind of dwell. Because when we talk about agape love on Inspiration Station, I'm telling you that gives me chill bumps because you can feel that presence of that positive energy. Because I know for a fact our family members have that for one another. All of us are following each other. We're concerned about the whereabouts. When people don't come on the lives for a minute, I go check them out. And there are a couple of them. We got you know, upwards about 300, 400, which isn't a lot for me to monitor if I really had more time. But I can even do it with little limited time. So I've really tried to, uh, uplift, especially those of you who are posting, because that's very important. And I got access to some of you who don't post to the public, so I appreciate that access too. But I want you all to keep posting your content by whatever means, because y'all never know the piece of the puzzle you might be holding for someone. Y'all, I never forget this girl. Uh, there in, I think I was in the States at the time, and she was, I want to say Barbados, and she was going through uh, uh, fibroids really bad to the point where they want to remove her uterus. And she wasn't even a good 25, 26. I'm like, hold up, no. And if you're going to do this right, you got to listen to me. I kept telling her, fasting is the way, but you need something right now. So I gave her one of the fibroid kits that's in our store and shipped that to her. And she started with that, and she noticed a change, and I knew she would because the some of the herbs that we get at some of the people who are growing our herbs, y'all, they got whoa, I love it. I mean, anyhow, I knew that they would work, but I told her that that's the band aid. Don't get hung up on that. Do your fasting. You realize this girl called me the other day and said she just had her first baby. ah, I love stories like that. I'm telling you, I love stories like that. I said I was going to do a post. I'm going to do one. Yeah, I'm so behind. I got so much content to upload here on YouTube. I'm trying to upload all of our lives from TikTok over here before they erase them because they're only giving us 30 days. All of that good content that we had when we started raising the roof about Journey to Enlightenment, it's gone because I couldn't download it fast enough. My devices. Now the phone that I have now downloads pretty well, but I couldn't keep up. Every day got to got to do 5, 10, 15 of them just to get caught up. You know, because I think they did still have a few of my very old ones still there that I can download, but every 30 days, and I don't know the cutoff date. But yeah, I got to get those up because y'all need to be in on those Inspiration Station live on TikTok meetings. Yeah, I'm telling you, when we did the 24 hour dry fast, we called it the Global Fast. And I'm telling you, people from all, and I still haven't gotten to the analytics to find out how many people were actually fasting, because I have to go through the comments and stuff, because many people will tell you, yeah, I fasted with y'all. I did this first time I ever fasted. And I'm seeing some of the comments when I went to one of the posts. But anyhow, um, the vibe was straight and center right here in St. Lucia at 4 o'clock p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I went live. As a matter of fact, that was the Lionsgate portal, 8/8. We started at the height of 8/8 at midnight. And I was on live as we ushered in our fast. At 8 o'clock a.m., I came on live. At 12 noon, I came on live. We wanted everybody to feel that support because we were doing hard dry. That means you can't wash your hands, you can't brush your teeth, you can't do anything. You can't drink any water, don't eat any food, all that for 24 hours. That's a powerful fast. That's one that is equivalent to 3 days water fasting. I can't stress that enough because that's enough time to take your butt right into autophagy. If you just did another day, even with water, you'd be in autophagy. And that's when your body, and you know you're in autophagy when your body switches over from glucose to ketones. And you go through all kind of stuff. Your body start feeling lethargic. Sometimes, my first fast, that's what I felt. Y'all realize not one fast past that first fast have I ever had a final bowel movement. Never had any more excess mucus be expelled from my body. I don't know what that is. I never have that. You know, it's like I go directly into whatever. I do sometimes like this 24-hour fast. I did have the stomach growl. And closer to midnight, I started feeling a little lightheaded, the hunger headache. So that, I guess, was pretty good. But that's me being all off the program. Uh, if I were to do it again, I would probably try to. No, I wouldn't try shit. And I got to stop saying that. That's what the My Alkaline Vegan Journey, all positive word, is all about. That try is not in nothing we speak. We're doing. Man, I don't know where I get that. Anyhow, um, what was I gonna say? Reworded. I'm gonna do 7 days of hard dry. Because I did 6. I did 6, and I know what that felt like. Boy, even after you do the 7 days or 6 days of nothing but hard, dry, nothing, all you're going to want is water. I'm telling you, I did the 24 hours. I couldn't wait to midnight because I had talked all throughout the day, and going live and stuff. Y'all don't understand. That is something else. And not being able to replenish with at least a drink of water. Y'all, it's late. I know it's time to go night-night. I'm going to publish this one. So you all stay tuned. I'm Robin, and this is My Alkaline Vegan Journey. Okay, yeah.